to make sure what are the methods we can adapt in order to make sure that wearing is not happening, or in extreme cases renewal. So in order to go for renewal, you need to make sure that the values in terms of height of the rail, width of the rail head, and the weight loss is not going to go beyond certain prescribed value. So in some tables. So, and finally, we have seen some videos how in the modern era, how in the modern days, the track maintenance and track renewal is done using a machine. Okay. If you have a chance to go through the third tutorial sheet, you will be able to see that I have asked how track maintenance or renewal is being done for dedicated freight corridor. So this is basically track laying and track renewal using the modern machine. So you will be able to find some related documents. So write those points on your submission. That's the expectation from your side. So next topic that we are going to discuss, again this is to rail, is the joints of the rail. So first of all, what is rail joints and why do we need rail joints? Why there is occurrence of rail joints? The first thing is that we have seen several times that rail is of finite length. There are several disadvantages associated with very long rail. So we need to put two rails, and at the same time we need to make sure that the adjacent ends are at the same place. We should have some sort of mechanism that they maintain the correct position. So when I am saying position, it is basically both in the horizontal and vertical plane. So what does it mean by horizontal? So if this is the joint, if there is a gap in between, so you need to make sure height here and height there is going to be same. So you use a fish plate using nuts and bolts, but you need to make sure that this level and the level of the previous rail is going to be same. So this is in the vertical plane. And what about the horizontal plane? So if we have a rail like this, okay, and if we have the other rail, we have to make sure that the rail heads, wave section, foot, everything is at the same level. Otherwise, horizontally, you will be able to see the other head of the rail like this. So that is actually going to create a lot of problem in case of smooth running of the train. So there will be extra impact being exerted, extra force being exerted by the wheel as the joint location. So both in the horizontal and vertical plane. So it has always been the integral part of the railway track. It's one of the essential component. You cannot get rid of the joints in case of rails. So look upon an necessary evil. So we need it, but at the same time we know that this is the weakest location that requires huge amount of maintenance. So joints, what are the problems? I have two slides in order to talk about the problems. Weakest link, break in continuity. So if it were one single rail, there is no problem, but when there are multiple rail which are being joined at the joint location, then continuity is break. Now when continuity is broken, you need to think about the longitudinal stresses due to the temperature variation. You need to keep a gap which is known as expansion gap that will be accommodating the expansion and contraction due to the temperature variation. There can be imperfection in levels of rail head, horizontally and vertically. There can be problem. There will be blow of wheels. We have seen that one type of creeping is being explained by what is happening at the joint, the percussion theory. So blow of wheel. Now whenever there is extra force being exerted at the joint location, not other location of the rail, So there can be loosening of fist plate. There can be ballast. The ballast which is underneath the joint. There will be problem with the fastening. So over the time you need to make sure they are not loose. They are not going to come out, because if those are loose, over the time the track geometry will change, and if you do not send the labor to make sure that things are in proper order, there can be chances of accidents. Okay. Wear and tear of the rail, that we have seen yesterday, that at the joints there will be extra amount of force, and that will be making sure that there is metal loss at the joint location. We have seen the battering of rail at the joint location. So track component is going to have wear and tear. At the same time, rolling stock, if fist plate, nuts and bolts, they are in not proper order, if it is loose or two rails are not horizontally placed properly, so that extra jerk that you are feeling at the joint location is going to affect the health of the rail rolling stock as well, the train vehicle as well. Okay, because there are many moving parts that will be creating problem. Just like if you buy a new vehicle and if you have road which is full of potholes, or road construction is going on, the road is open to you, but there is no physical, no such street light, you will be able to see the road properly. So sometimes your vehicle can be damaged. You may not be able to understand the depth of the pothole. So health of the vehicle is deteriorated. So in case of railway engineering, if joint is not properly maintained, not proper maintenance is being done, then that can affect the health of the rolling stock as well. What are the other problems? Impact of moving load on rail joints. So overall, as there is moving load that is coming, dynamic load we have talked about several times. Okay. So dynamic load is coming, so that reduces lifespan of rail, slipper fastening, particularly at the joint location. Noise is created. So when you are a passenger sitting inside the vehicle and sometimes one noise is coming, those are nothing but the wheel is hitting the joint location. So you feel uncomfortable. Sabotage chances. There can be some person who want to damage the reputation of Indian Railways or want to terrorize the people. So what they can do, they can remove fist plate, and whenever they are going to remove the fist plate, they will be able to remove the rail. So I remember one of the accidents which happened in West Bengal, Ganeshwari, one train at the border of Odisha and West Bengal, that happened because some portion of the rail was cut. When investigation was done, at the time they came to know that fist plates were removed and some portion of the rail were taken off. So if you do not send people, if you do not keep an eye, that is one problem. At the same time, the kind of devices we use, those are easy to remove. So there are chances of sabotage. Increased fuel consumption. So in case of road, if you have a smooth road, you can understand that your fuel efficiency will be comparatively good. If it will give you better mileage. In case of railway engineering, it has been observed that it will be requiring more fuel if you have more number of joints on a track, because there is a gap, expansion gap. So extra amount of force is required to hold the train over joints. So these are the problems. There are several problems. So only 8 to 10 are listed here. Now, whenever we are talking about one component of the track, joints, we need to think about the requirements. So what are the purpose it is going to serve? First one is holding rail ends together. Okay, if it is not going to hold the rail together, what will happen? The expansion gap will increase, the fist plate will be becoming loose, and the wheel will be jumping larger distance. So it can be in the longitudinal direction, it is going for higher distances, or it can be even elevation jump, level jump. Okay, so we need to make sure that those kind of jumping is not occurring. Avoid deviation of wheel from normal path of the movement. So if it is one rail, this is other rail. If they are not joined very accurately. If it is moving on the side, then obviously the wheel has to deviate, and that is not at all welcome. Okay, so avoid deviation of wheel. It should move as it is. There should not be any deviation. Strength, the kind of strength it needs to provide as well as stiffness should be almost equal to the normal rail. So two rails are being joined. Here is one rail, here is another rail. We are putting some kind of extra material, fish plates, jo bhi bolo, welding bolo, jo bhi bolo. We need to make sure the finished product, the end product is going to provide the same strength as stiffness at the parents rails do. Expansion gap should provide enough space for contraction and expansion due to the temperature variation. So it needs to hold certain gap in between. Flexibility in terms of removal or replacement. So joints should not be such that yes, it is weekend point, but we are doing so much things at the joint. Now when the rail is going to reach its service life, we need to throw it out or we need to go for the renewal because the wearing is really high. Now it should not happen that you are scared about like dismantling the joints. So you should have enough flexibility. The joints should not be really complex that the renewal of the rail is going to be a huge problem. Resistance to wear should not allow the rail ends to get battered. Yesterday we have seen this battering is responsible. Okay, so we have seen when we have talked about the creeping. So wheel load is coming, vertical component, horizontal components. This is responsible for the creeping in the rail due to percussion theory, and this is responsible for the hammering action. The rail head is going to be flattened, battered. Okay, should not allow the rail heads to get battered. So we need to make sure that joint is really strong. It is not getting battered. Elasticity, provide adequate elasticity as well as resistance to longitudinal force. So train is moving in a particular direction. It should provide enough elasticity. And cost, the last one, which is no doubt what component of track you are mentioning about, but you need to make sure that initial and maintenance cost is going to be low. Or if you are going to join Indian Railways later and want to use a modern term, you will be saying LCCA, life cycle cost or life cycle cost analysis. If you do that, you should be able to say that life cycle cost is minimum. Now let us see certain joints type. So rail joints, there are various types. Those can be classified into different ways. First one, the first classification is based upon the position of the slipper. So we can understand rail is resting upon slipper. Slipper is resting upon ballast, and in between the two rails, we have the joints. So based upon where the slipper is, we have some classification. So obviously we are talking about the joint location. And the other one is related to the position of the rail joint, where the rail joint is located. So we will be seeing them one by one. So first one is related to the position of the slipper, where the slipper lies. Okay, first one is supported joint. So we have seen so far that joint is the weakest location. There are several problems. Nut bolts ढीला हो सकता है. It can be taken away by the people to terrorize the people. So the original idea which came to the people mind when things were being invented, that we can put a slipper at the joint location. Okay, so rail joints will be resting on a single slipper. That particular slipper will be known as joint slipper. So rail joint. So here we are putting a slipper. So this slipper is known as joint slipper. So it appears that we are making sure that this location is not really weak point, but it has been observed that people observed over the time because of moving wheel load, because of shock, vibration, expansion gap, wearing and tearing is huge for this particular slipper. Okay, so maintenance is a huge difficulty for this particular slipper class. The slipper that is being posed as the joint slipper, we need to make sure that we are renewing it as frequent interval, not like the other slipper. So we stopped using it at present. So it used to be one of the joints, the supported joints, which is being supported with the help of a joint slipper. That is obsolete now. It is not used now. So the example is duplex slipper. Yeah. So duplex slipper, you can understand what I have shown you. So there is one slipper, there is another slipper, this is the third slipper, this is the rail joint. So it is not going to show you the nuts and bolts, but it will be there. But this is the joint slipper and this is a supported joint. Okay. So maintenance of this slipper is very difficult. That's why wearing and tearing is very high. That's why we do not use it nowadays. So what we do use nowadays? Any idea? Do we put double? Do we use a different kind of slipper? ठीक है, wooden slipper छोड़ देते हैं, एक लोहे का slipper और उधर डाल देते हैं. Is it like that? What is your opinion? कोई बता सकता है? With respect to the position of the slipper, where the slipper will be placed, or if there is a special kind of slipper, ठीक है थोड़ा मोटा बना देते हैं, थोड़ा strong बना देते हैं, दूसरे material का बना देते हैं. Any guess from your side? No guess, nothing. Show guys सारे लोग. अच्छा ठीक है. So the one which we use everywhere, rather we see everywhere, used worldwide, is known as suspended joint. Okay, so rail ends, the joint location will be somewhere in the middle, in between the two slipper. So we have two slipper on the sides of the joint. So we have some portion of the rail which is acting as a cantilever. Okay, so being said that, we can see a photo of that. So this is a rail section, not a very good photo. I do not like this photo, but again from book. Rail joints. Here is one slipper, here is another slipper, but there is no slipper in between or underneath the joint. So when we have this kind of joint, we will be saying that this is a suspended joint. So there is cantilever portion. You can see that if I draw a different diagram here, okay. So we have one slipper here, we have another slipper here. So now if we join them, so some portion of this rail is acting as cantilever, here also cantilever, these are joined. So there is no slipper in between. We have seen this photo earlier, right? And we have said that there is a special name for this particular slipper. What are the name of this slipper? So if it is at the joint, we call it joint slipper. When those are at the sides and it's a suspended joint, there is cantilever portion. What do we call them? What slipper we call them? What is the specific term we use in order to express that this is the name of the slipper?
Shoulder slipper.
Yes, shoulder slipper. Okay, so where we have seen shoulder slipper when we are discussing about the slipper density. Okay, you remember that we are discussing about the spacing between the shoulder slipper, then shoulder slipper and the the intermediate slipper and other thing. Okay, so that's why. So this is really good and this is used worldwide. Is there any other variation? In India, we do not have any variation, but if you go to abroad, some other countries where you have like the track system, you will be able to see some other special kind of arrangement. Third one is bridge joint. So we have suspended joint but at the same time, in between the two slipper, those shoulder slipper, there is a connection being made by a flat metal or a corrugated plate. So flat metal, so a metal sheet or corrugated plate. So corrugated sheet, all of you must have seen at least from the knowledge of structural engineering. So corrugated plate, so we call it either bridge of metal or bridge plate. This is not in India. Okay. So how it looks like, here are two photos. So you can see that here is shoulder slipper, so there is extra metal sheet. Here also we have one extra metal, flat metal, which is going to be in between the shoulder slipper. So those are mainly available in the United States. Any particular instances, do you remember where I have talked about United States trains? What was the reference? Anybody remember? Where we have talked about the trains in the United States?
So the kind of goods they carry, and I think either one of them carries heavier loads, and so the
Yes.
track structure is slightly different.
Yes, correct. Absolutely. So the reference was depth of the ballast cushion underneath the slipper is going to be equal to slipper spacing in case of United States. But we do not follow it in India. The reason is that in our case, slipper density is comparatively, the value between the two slipper, the distance between the two slipper is comparatively larger in our case, but smaller in their case. So they can easily adapt that. We will make sure the distance between the two slipper is going to be as the depth of the ballast cushion under slipper. Okay. The reason for their higher slipper density, the distance between the two slipper is comparatively less. The reason is that they mainly use the trains for the movements of the goods, for the movements of the freight. So that may be that when they use send or transport bulky amount of material, heavy volume, huge weight, so they may be requiring some extra support at the joint. That may be the reason for this bridge plate or bridge of metal. Okay. So this is not available in India. We do not see it, but those are available in the United States particularly. Now next one is according to the position of the rail joint. So last one was position of the slipper. So when the slipper was below the joint, we call it supported. When it was cantilever, we call it suspended. When we have one extra sheet of metal, we call it bridge. Okay, bridge is modification of suspended. Now I am asking you with respect to the rail joints. Okay, so how it is going to vary? So first one is square joint. Okay, so let us see here a photo of square joint. So you have a track joint on this side is exactly opposite of the joint on the other side. Okay, so this is known as square. What could be the other classification? What could be the other classification? So it seems that the other classification will be such that the joint is not exactly opposite to the other joint, right? So if it is not happening, we will not call it a square joint. So it is kind of here, 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 here. Okay, so when we have something like this, we call it staggered. STTGRED, staggered. GGERED, staggered. So staggered joint, where it is common? In case of, when I will be showing you the photo, you will be able to understand. It is at curved location. Okay, when we have a curve, and we have laid the rails, we need to make sure that the joints are not opposite to each other. What is the reason? What is the reason?
So the outer wheel would be moving slightly, will be covering a larger distance in the same amount of time. So you need to accommodate for that difference by creating that gap in the joints.
Okay, not really, but basically in order to impede the effect of the centrifugal force. So somewhat staggered. In case of highway engineering, did you listen to the word staggered? So suppose you have a junction, one road crossing another road. Okay, we call it like 90-degree intersection, right? So if we have a road crossing one like this, what do we call? What kind of intersection? Skewed.
Right.
Okay. And what about this? Or this is known as staggered. Okay. This is known as staggered intersection. So 90-degree perpendicular to each other. This one skewed. There is certain angle, acute angle, obtuse angle here. And when we have one road, but at the particular junction, these two roads are not opposite to each other. Rather, the person who is coming from this road want to go there, so they have to come like this, take right turn and go like this. Okay. Similarly, one person want to go on this particular road, they have to follow this path. So this kind of intersections are known as staggered intersection. Okay. So staggered joint, all of you can remember that it is common in case of the joints, sorry, curves. Okay. Now let us directly come to the welding of rails.
So how would it help in hindering the centrifugal force?
सेंट्रीफ्यूगल फोर्स के लिए इफेक्ट क्या होता है बताओ?
So centrifugal is a tendency that the vehicle might move towards the out of the curve. It has a tendency to get pushed out. So if you have staggered joints, तो और difficult होना चाहिए ना, because now both the wheels will oh okay, we're talking about the joints.
Yes, we are talking about the joints. Okay, so centrifugal force, if it is being applied here, so we have one weak point here, we have another weak point here.
Right.
Okay, so that's why we got rid of this, and we have one here, another there, another there, another here. Okay.
Right, sir. Yes, sir.
So let me discard this. Just hold on. Okay. Yes, so welding of rail. Now, one thing you can observe that I did not discuss about the things that we see in the joints. I am not going to talk about the fish plate nuts and bolts and their specification now, because that will be discussed during the discussion of the fastening. Okay. So we are directly going to the welding of rail. So welding of rail is done at the joint location. So purpose of welding, there are certain purpose it is going to serve. First one is that though you are not, suppose I am not going to show you the points, but you can say that we are trying to get rid of the joints. Okay, so we are putting some kind of material, at the same time we are trying to save our cost. Okay, why? Because at each joint you need to put fish plate nuts, bolts, and at the same time you know that they can loosen, they cannot be at their initial health over the time. So you need to go for regular maintenance. So if you sum up all those costs, you will be able to see that you will be able to save some money if you go for the welding. So let us see some points. So increase length of the rail by joining 2 or more rails. So until now we have already talked about 2 rails, but when we will be talking about welded rails, you will be able to see that there are instances we joined many rails. So we are reducing number of joints. We are making sure that we do not need as many fish plates and obviously nuts and bolt as much we were requiring earlier. Leads to economy as well as strength. Why we are saying strength? Because the kind of material that we are using, though it is seems like having the same property of the original rail, but you have to see that they are joined by these nuts and bolts, which are um, like being fixed to the rail with the help of wrenches, screwdrivers, and other things. So over the time, due to the vibration, dynamic loading, they will be becoming loose. So strength will not be as it is over the time. But when we'll go for welding, it provides better strength. Repair worn out or damaged rail. So we have seen yesterday that in some cases when there is wearing and tearing, there is metal loss, we are going to throw the rails or replace or renewal of rails are going on. So in some cases we can repair the worn out rails, damaged rail. In that way we can increase their life, service life, and in some places, for example, points and crossing location, those are complicated locations. So there will be certain instances you will be able to see that the some portion is damaged. So you can fix those using the welding. Okay, welding for now you can understand that it is some kind of mechanism which is helping you to accumulate certain metal on the top of the rail, in middle of the 2 rails, or where there is some damaged portion. So here you can see that this is wooden slipper. Wooden slipper, they have fixed some kind of devices. Here you can see some kind of setup like nuts and bolts. Okay, and here is the welded portion. So if you look at the top portion, you may not be able to see the that there is a joint. Okay, only you are able to understand it because the remaining portion is still there. Okay, after the welding has been done. And what is this? Actually, when rails are manufactured 12 meter or 13 meter, we make sure we have 2 holes at the end so that we can form the joint. So nuts and bolts will be fixed here. Okay. Now this particular rail has been manufactured with the aim of fixing it to the other rail with the help of nuts and bolts, but this is not going to be used because we have done the welding. Even these holes are sometimes useful for the transportation of the rails when you have to go for the renewal. Where you have heard certain term, when we said like the first method of reducing the creeping, we said that pulling up the rail, though it is not going to be very successful. So we use sometimes crowbar and hooks, and we said that we put the bars and hooks through these holes, and there will be some people who will be holding the other side of the rail, and we will be able to drag it. Welded rails, there are several advantages: increases life of rail, increases strength, reduces construction cost. Okay, so you may think that there will be some kind of setup you need in order to go for the construction cost, or the fixing of the 2 rails with the help of the welding, but you will be able to see that there are several methods of welding, and nowadays we could reduce the cost drastically. So now for every 12 to 13 meter we have 1 rail on this side, other 1 joint on this side, another joint on the opposite side. So if you go for the cumulative expenditure for all of these fishplate, nuts and bolts, then you will be able to see that the construction cost is going to be lower in case of welding. Even the maintenance cost is going to be lower because you do not need to send the people as quite often. Provides more comfort to the passenger because the wheel is not moving along the gap that we had earlier left for the expansion and contraction. Reduce the creeping as well, because one of the theory, the percussion theory, says that at joints there are wheel load, that's why there is creeping. Even for the longitudinal stresses that is getting generated due to the temperature variation, we have seen one accident due to the creeping where the line was buckling up. Okay, so that is also related to creeping. So as those joints are gone, we have put metal, so it reduces the creeping. Reduces risk of sabotage and accidents. So sabotage we cannot do much, only proper surveillance or maybe very complex kind of setup at the joint. At the same time, the accidents. If we are not sending the people quite often at the site, then there will be accident. Hey, please mute yourself.
Only se connect harim.
Hey, please mute yourself. Just hold on. I need to mute him. Okay, I think he's gone. And the last one is dampen the intensity of high frequency vibration. So there will be shocks and vibration that will be generated because of the joint. Now when we have welded joint, that reduces the intensity of the vibration at a great extent. There are several methods. Let us go through them. We will not be going through the methods just like the mechanical engineering people do, but roughly we will be discussing about their pros, cons, quality, and whether they can be done at the site or it has to be done at the plant itself. So first one is gas pressure welding or acetylene welding, where we use oxygen and the acetylene gases. Second one is electric arc welding. So you can understand that there will be some electricity involved as well as some metal. Third one is flashbulb welding. So some kind of flashing, there will be fusion, there will be smoke that is coming out. And last one is thermite or the chemical welding. So let us see, I have certain slides to show you. So first one is gas pressure welding. So gas pressure welding, so you need two types of gases. One is oxygen, the other one is acetylene. So intense heat will be generated when we combine oxygen and acetylene. So we have rail ends brought close to each other. Heat will be applied through a burner. So we'll have a photo in the next slide. So burners are connected to oxygen cylinder as well as acetylene cylinder. And whenever we have burner, we need to regulate, just like our normal gas cylinder, we have a regulator, as well as we have two tubes. So oxygen cylinder, one tube, acetylene cylinder, another tube, regulator, burner. So rail ends are being brought together and heat is being applied. Okay, so as heat is being applied, the metal will be melted. So deposits molten metal on rail. It's a very simple apparatus, very good from mobility point of view. We need two cylinders, both stationary as well as mobile units are available. So stationary means we cannot move, it is not portable. So you need to go to a designated place in order to go for the welding. So you can set it up, set that kind of plant near to the location where you are laying or going for the renewal or the welding for the rail. But mobile units are basically the portable units. You can take to each joints and do the fixing. Can be used for cutting of rail as well. So sometimes you need to use smaller rails, shorter lengths, particularly when you are doing the maintenance. So in order to cut the rail You do not have to do anything, only you can use that particular setup, gas paper welding, gas pressure welding setup in order to cut the rail. So you can see there is acetylene cylinder, this is oxygen cylinder, there are valve, there are gauge, there is hose or tube, and there is burner, the blowpipe. Okay, and here is pressure regulating screw. This is actually the setup for gas pressure welding. Everything is good so far. So also it is used for the repairing of worn out rail or damaged portion of the points and crossing. So that we have seen a general property of welding. The quality, the kind of material it is going to be deposited is of good quality. It is cheaper compared to one of those methods. So flash butt welding से ये cheaper है. Reliability is high. The kind of end product you are leaving, it is going to serve the purpose for a long time. You do not have to bother much about कि वो काम ठीक तरह से हुआ या नहीं, चलो देख के आते हैं, अगले महीने और एक बार जाते हैं, थर्ड महीने और एक बार जाते हैं, तो you can completely rely upon it. But the main issue is the limited output. It takes some amount of time to do this particular kind of welding. Difficult as well as irregular availability of gas, oxygen and acetylene. So you need to have in the cylinder form. So those are very difficult to get nowadays, and sometimes it become irregular. So there is only one plant in West Bengal which offers this kind of welding. So it is being phased out gradually. Okay, so we are not using it, though it has the provision of being mobile as well as stationary. So it was cheap rather compared to flash butt welding. Reliability was good, everything was good. It can be used to cut the rail, it can fix the worn out rail damaged position, but the availability of gas is issue. Output is very limited. Only one plant in West Bengal. Second one is electric arc welding or metal arc welding. So here, as we say electric, so electric current is passed through the rail, and at the same time through a rod, which is nothing but one electrode. Okay, so you have two rails which has to be fixed, where you have to do the welding. So the third one is an electrode. So current is first passed through the electrode as well. So there will be an arc which will be formed. So we call it metal arc. Okay. The other name is metal arc or electric arc. So arc is formed, the electrode gets melted. So the thin rod that you are using, that will be melted and that will be deposited on the rail by providing a strong bond between the two rails. So in that way, we go for the welding. So in case of electric arc and mobile, the metal arc also, we can see that there are mobile plants which are available. So it can be set up at multiple places. It is portable, easy to handle, consists of engine, generator and accessories. Okay, in order to make sure that you can pass the current through rail and the electrode. In case of the site, you need to have a generator because there may not be a power source, and there are other accessories. So used for building of worn out rail, crossing, damaged rail, other small welding operation. कुछ भी हो आप कर सकते हो. Any broken part, any damaged part can be repaired. At the same time, one of the advantages, the gas shield that is getting generated because the metal arc is going to create an atmosphere with very high temperature. So gas shield that will be preventing entering of impurities and air into the molten metal. So whatever you will be seeing at the end of the work, you are sure that there is no impurities because there was very high temperature. At the same time, there is no air voids in the molten metal. So that's the specialty of the electric arc. Third one is related to flash butt welding. Here also we need to send current, which is powerful current written here, passed through the two rails. Width of gap is varied until two ends are going to be heated up to the required temperature. So just bring them, put current, make sure that they are going to touch each other, brought in contact with each other. As soon as they are brought in contact with each other, there will be flash. Okay, bright light will be coming up. So at the time, stop the current and press the rail together. And you need to make sure that you are going to have the designation pressure. Okay, so if we can do that, we'll be able to see that the rails are joined together. So we have a welded rail. So this is very high quality, again high temperature. Cost of welding joint using this method is quite low. When we were discussing about gas pressure method, where we have a cylinder for oxygen for the acetylene, we said this is cheaper than flash bath. So here you can see cost of welding is very low. Now gas pressure welding cost is lower than this, so which is really good, but there are several disadvantages that we have seen earlier. Okay, so the availability of gas and the limited output are the two reasons. So cost is much lower, but other issues. So can be adapted more economically because cost is low and efficiently at the workshop. Why we are saying efficiently? One is high quality, and even the kind of setup you need in order to bring the two rails, sending the currents, join them together, stop the current. So it has been observed that you do not need much things, much accessories. Okay, but there are but it needs to be done in a welding plant. Okay, so you cannot do for small jobs at the site. So if you want to do that, you will see that it is kind of uneconomical. The cost is increasing. So you need a plant where you have that kind of source of current. So you have to send powerful current. You are not going to use any extra metal rod which will be melting and which will be depositing on the top of the rail, and they will bring the rail joints together. Okay, here we need to fix the two rail ends using this particular welding method. And the last, thermit or the chemical welding. This is the most popular one. It involves use of two things. One is aluminium, the other one is iron oxide. So they are mixed in a powder form and they are ignited. Okay, so aluminium plus the oxide, ferrous Fe2O3, ferrous oxide. Okay, so on ignition, when heat is given, there will be chemical reaction, and what will be formed? There will be, okay, first of all, there will be generation of intense heat, huge amount of temperature rise. At the same time, the temperature observed in this particular case has been observed to be in the range of 2500 degrees Celsius. Okay, so this is very exothermic in nature, the chemical reaction between these two. Now when this is being done, what is the end product? Fe and Al2O3 plus heat. Now what is Fe is doing? That is getting separated away, deposited in the gaps of preheated rail ends. So rail is also preheated by setting up some kind of furnace at the bottom of the rail ends, at the joints. So it is getting deposited. Al2O3, the aluminium oxide, this is lighter, but this floats on the top and it forms the slag. So slag formation iske liye hoga, and heat is already there. So generally adopted in the process of renewal of rail. This is most common in case of renewal of the rail. So mobile plant means it can be done anywhere at many places. So we have some kind of setup here. You can see ignition is being done, so which is not very clear from this photo. So let us see a video. So can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so here you can see concrete sleeper, they are not embedded in the ballast, so rail lines are being laid. Okay, so let us see what they are trying to do. So they have some kind of things here, okay, some kind of mold. Ignition. So aluminium and Fe2O3, they are in the powder form. Okay, this particular mixture is known as the thermite mixture. So those are available with the railway authorities. So they put it in that particular container and they will make sure it is ignited. So there will be the chemical reaction, exothermic, huge amount of heat is getting generated. So the end product is going to be Al2O3 and Fe. Okay. Now they are dismantling the mold. So those white things, those are basically the aluminum oxide. That is the slag. They have some kind of devices in order to make the final, in order to go for the finishing touch. So this particular yellow device has the shape of the rail head. इतना टाइम ना लो. अच्छा, ठीक. So they are dismantling it. Now they are removing it. Okay, you can see that still it seems that something is burning. So using the hammer to remove the remnant, the remaining things. So Fe is deposited at the joint. Okay, so they are using the hammer. At the same time, you will see at the same time they have some kind of equipment to have it a very smooth finish. Okay. So let us stop here. Okay. So I'll be sharing the slides and let me take the attendance for the class. Please wait. Okay, so yes, I have taken the attendance. Now you people can leave for the next class. So I'll be sharing the slides by this evening. Thank you, guys.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, these topics are included in the quiz day after tomorrow.
No, actually it is not. It is not included. I did not mention it intentionally. I thought that if I declared it, then there will be nobody in my class today. Okay, so that's why it did not, it was not declared. Okay, Kirat?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Kirat, thank you.